Well, good evening and welcome to my Psychic Connection. I am your host, Journey Ryan. Welcome to Dream Interpretations, guys. I hope you guys have some interesting dreams for us tonight. And I can't wait to talk to all of you guys about these dreams, what they mean, and what is going on in them. So, guys, remember, dreams are symbolizations. And I know that we were supposed to have a show earlier tonight with Gifts of Faith, and due to tech problems we were having, we were unable to air that show. We were having serious problems. We're having a few tech problems currently, but I think we can get through this one in order to get the show done tonight, and we'll be going back to our old broadcasting systems after this, because this is too much of a train wreck. All right. So I noticed that my name, for some reason, is saying Billy. This is the stuff I'm talking about. So let's fix that problem, because I am not Billy. I am Journey Ryan. So I hope everybody is ready with those dreams, guys. Remember, this is the Dream Interpretation Show. It is not our reading show. So, guys, we'll be talking about dreams and what they mean. So when we ask you to put forth your dream, remember that the dream, you will need to explain the situation to me. So that way I know. All right. So Cassie Lake, are you with me? Cassie, let me know that you're here. Well, Brittany says she doesn't have a dream, but she's here to enjoy the show. Cassie. Tony or Billy, that's in the back doing the moderating. If you by chance see Cassie's name and I don't, go ahead and post it up so I can read it from the display screen, just in case. Just in case. But Cassie, go ahead and throw us your dream. And guys, remember, tomorrow night we'll be here doing readings at 10 p.m. Like I said, we'll be back on our old broadcasting system instead of this one, because this has been kind of a pain in the rear end. So we tried it. We definitely don't like it, and so we're going back. All right. Cassie, are you with us? Let me know. Talk to me about your dream. Cassie Lake. All right. Well, after Cassie is going to be Ashley Neal. So Angel Fernandez, we are doing dream interpretations right now. The next show for readings is tomorrow at 10 p.m. If you'd like to get a reading then, you can. Oh, you're in Spain. Awesome. And then we have another reading show even after the 10 o'clock show. We'll have another one at this exact time tomorrow. So Honey, this is the Dream Interpretation Show. We're going to be talking about dreams tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll definitely... Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But we're going to... All right, so I'm not seeing Cassie. All right, so... Ray, go ahead and throw us your your dream. You are next in line, so give us a dream. And then Shauna F, about your dream, go ahead and throw it forward after we're done talking about Ray, so get yours ready. Angel, tomorrow night, this same exact time, we'll be here with Gifts of Faith. Her and I will tag team the reading, so you can come to that one, or you can go to the... Ray says, my dream is not that exciting. That's okay. Talk about it. What's going on? But Angel, like I said, tonight's about dream interpretation. This is our dream show. So tomorrow we'll have 2 reading shows that you could be a part of. So throw us that dream, Ray. All right. I dreamt... my friend sent me a message and I opened it. It really surprised and stressed because I cut the friendship off months ago. Serious journey. This the best dream interpretation. All right. So, Ray, when it comes to your dream and you're picking this up, is that something has recently reminded you of that friend that you have cut out? And so there's that fear of them coming back and having to relive what you've already been through with that person. And you don't want that type of confrontation. You're not trying to get that kind of energy back. And this is your way of processing it to remind you this is not what you want. So that's what that dream's about. That dream is talking about there was something going on in your waking life at that time that told you and reminded you of that person, which in your mind was like, oh God, that's not what I want. And it reminded you of the stress that came with it, the energy that you don't want from it, and that it would be a bad idea if they came back into your life. So this was just you reminding yourself that this is not the energy that I want, and I need to stick to my guns. Because every now and then we get in that mindset, we're like, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is doing. And then if we sit with it long enough, we're like, you know what? I'm going to reach out. And then you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. And you realize, so subconsciously, at some point, that something in your waking life reminded you of what was going on and reminded you of that person. And then you kind of thought, I wonder how they're doing. But these were all back of the mind thoughts. And then when you went to your sleep cycle, your brain processed that and was like, warning, don't do this. This is a bad decision. Stay the hell away from it. So definitely see that. She said, sorry for being a boring dream. That's not even it. That's a good dream. That's just a way of showing you that symbolism and how we process things in our dream state to remind us, there are certain things that we don't like about that person. And, it could be a big deal. Michelle actually asked a question that's not about her dream. She says, but how about when you dream of a dead loved ones? Is that really them, or is it grieving because of the dream? Well, it can depend on the situation of the dream. Now, I'm not going to say that our loved ones don't come to us in our sleep state, because sometimes they do. But it also depends on the dream itself. Depending on what's in the dream, what's being, what's the message that's being, relayed with them. You could see this person as someone who's strong. Then all of a sudden you're dreaming of a situation where you need to be strong. But the person that you see in that is that person that you know to be strong. So subconsciously, we're being shown these symbols that is, when you are needing to be strong, and it shows yourself and it shows that you need to be strong, you're not going to see yourself as strong in that. But the person that you know to be strong will all of a sudden be the person you're dreaming about. So then all of a sudden you're seeing this and you're like, oh, I need to be strong. So yes, loved ones do come in, but they can also resemble things that you relate to them. So if you see that person as a funny person and there's a situation that comes up in the dream and that person's in the dream, it's supposed to be relatable as to funny. So you can categorize things like that when it comes to people from the past. It says, Journey, you can speak on lucid dreams too at some point. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to speak on lucid dreams. I'm going to speak on whatever dreams that people are having. That's the whole point of this dream interpretation, and lucid dreaming and controlling your dream. That's what happens in a lucid dream. So we'll get to that. And Michelle said, okay, I had a dream of a very close friend. Long story short, he said to me, I'm sorry, but his eyes were so black and scared me so badly, I'll still see that image. Yeah, she said, sorry, he died. I left that part out. No, I understand that. And, when it comes to your coming through with seeing this person and you seeing the eyes, to me, what did you think about this person? What was your association? Did this person scare you when they mean business? Because to me, I kept getting that they were putting their foot down and they were trying to keep you from doing something that you wouldn't have typically done. And they wanted to make sure that you stayed safe. And so with their eyes turning out the way they did, there was more going on in the dream. Is it possible for you to remember that part? Because every key element in the dreams, I'm talking about colors, I'm talking about numbers, I'm talking about the sky was gray instead of blue, the sky was purple instead of blue. I mean, details, the things that you remember, there's a reason why you remember them, and there's a reason why they stuck out. Like, I don't know why I kept seeing this brown couch, but I kept seeing the brown couch everywhere. There was a reason for it. And depending on the dream, we'd be able to go to that part. Goes as simple as saying, you have to sit this one out. You need to lounge. You're doing too much. You need to relax. It could be many things. So what was going on in the dream that at that time that you had this dream, and what was going on in your waking life at the moment? Because those two play a big part as to why this dream was so serious. Because I got a stop and don't do that right off of the bat, right out the gate. No, he was very close to me. He died from an overdose, but 1 minute his eyes were normal, and then the other were so black and very intense that they really scared me. Then the dream was over. Yeah, but what was going on in your waking state, or what was going on? There was more to the dream that can you remember the rest of the things that were going on to the dream? Because there's a message behind it that's telling me, while his eyes changed, he wanted you to be scared from doing something, trying to stop you from going a certain direction. I'm curious as to know if when you were in your waking state, Was this around his death or right after his death? You know, how long after did you have this dream, and where were you at in your mind state? Because there are things circling around this, so I'm trying to, pick up everything. And because it's a dream and it's something that your mind is developing, I need to know what it is, because in reality it didn't actually happen. It happened in a subconscious mind state. So I would love to know that information. Who else is in here that's got dreams too, while I wait for Michelle to go ahead and throw us the rest of that dream or what was happening at that moment, guys? You guys can comment. This is the Dream Interpretation Show. It's not like the Psychic Show. The Psychic Show, we prefer that everybody, kind of go in order when it comes to their questions. Michelle says, no, I don't remember. Maybe he didn't want me to be with the man I was. This was a couple weeks after his death. Yeah, but what was going on? Were you fighting with that man that you were with at the time? Because to me, that's not connecting with me, and I don't feel that that was something that had that much seriousness unless there was abuse. If he was physically abusing you, verbally abusing you, then I could see him doing that, but I don't believe that that is the connection there. Something going on in the waking state, something that was he didn't want you to do because he didn't want you to make a mistake. And that to me is what I saw with his eyes. And eyes is seeing, them not wanting you to see the truth either on his situation. He was embarrassed by it, but understood it. But that's not the reason his eyes went black. His seriousness wanted to scare you away from a certain part. Nothing that I can remember. How long ago was this dream? Because he was trying to stop. I kind of wish you could remember a little bit more of what happened, because that would be able to give us the idea as to what he was trying to warn you about. But in this dream, that's exactly what I was seeing, is that he was trying to warn you about something, to not do something. So this is what I can tell most people when they dream, is keep your device with you, your cell phone, a pen and paper, something to write things down, or talk to the voice activation thing on your phone, and just talk and communicate to it. Talk about your dream, because as you go through your waking state, you start to lose more and more of that dream. You start losing those details. Yeah, 2014. That's quite a ways away to remember. So I'm kind of understanding as to why you don't remember it as clearly. Because as I was just saying, we start to lose, what we're doing. And Michelle, if you ever have that type of dream again, make sure you write it down. Write down the details of what's happening, what's going on, why you, when you wake up. Because like I said, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. And you're going to find yourself not remembering the dream and be like, damn it, I want a journey to tell me what the hell is going on. Now, this to me in the warning, it was somebody who cared about you, someone that was a best friend, someone you trusted. So this is why I feel they came into your dream, is because it's someone that you trust. And the eye change was to scare you, to let you know that they were serious. She says, I remember the whole dream. He pulled up in my old van. The door opened. He was sitting there and said he was sorry, and his eyes turned black. And like that, I said, I was scared me really bad, and then he was gone. Well, to me, that makes a little bit more sense as to how you were trying to kind of deal with everything that was going on there, and how his passing happened over overdose. And you felt that, you wish you did. Of course, you wish you didn't go that way. And of course, you felt you know, is he embarrassed by that? So when he came through in the dream, that I don't want you to see the real me. So his eyes changed black. Don't go his direction. Don't do what he has done. Make sure you're doing the right thing for yourself. So the energy is that's a very fast dream, and I know that the eyes, seeing the eyes in the way that you did, scared you until you woke, and it was a reminder. Don't see him that way. Don't look at it that way. Everybody goes through things in their life. Unfortunately, this took his, but this was more about don't see things the way that everybody wants you to see them. Remember him as you remember him. He's not ashamed of what he's done. He understands he lived his life and didn't choose the right path, but he knows that and accepts it now. I also know that this wasn't an intentional thing. She said, yeah, that dream has haunted me for years. I just never forgot those eyes, right? And the eyes definitely were scary. They stood out, but don't look at him like everybody's trying to make you picture him. Picture him the way you remember him, not how everybody else is portraying him. Because I don't feel good things are being said, and I don't feel that they're actually talking about him in the way that he actually would have liked. So that's what I see about that when it comes to that dream. So don't let the eyes, make sure you don't listen to other people. They're not telling you anything truthful in that sense. And I don't feel that that's the way you remember him. It's the way they want you to remember him. And it's not true. Said I agree. Absolutely. So in this dream, I do feel like there was a warning there as well. But I don't feel like that was because it's been so long, something was also happening in your waking life at that very moment. So he was warning you about that too, but unfortunately I'm not seeing that. All right, Michelle. That was an interesting dream. I know how that works. All right, anybody else got anything about dreams here? I know that we've been having some tech problems, guys, so bear with us as we work through all these issues as clearly as I came through. Hi, I'm Journey Ryan, and my name tag saying, hi, you're Billy. No, I'm not. Billy is different and is female. She said, thank you. You're welcome, Michelle. Definitely. Ray says, Journey, how can you tell when a dream is a premonition or when it's just a dream based on what you are going through? Well, usually a premonition will happen before you go through a certain event. So you won't be going through the event. You'll be dreaming of something else. And it's more realistic when it comes to who's in the dream, what's happening in the dream. And sometimes the dream can be very vague. And you're like, this is a very weird dream. Premonitions are based more on, things that can actually happen versus dreams where, certain things like I can fly. Unless Ray, if you start flying, please let me know. But yeah, no, I definitely feel as though that they're based more off of realistic things that can happen. They're and rather than the dream, they're a little bit broken up into sections, like certain sections. They're short-lived, and you'll see a glimpse of this part of the premonition, then you got another glimpse of it, and to you, it doesn't really quite make sense at the time. Then, as you're in your waking life and you start to live that you're like, wait a minute, and you get that instant moment of deja vu. I've done this before. You have. You had a premonition of it, and you dreamt of it. So that's how you remember the exact moment, someone saying something in the exact way that they would have said it, and you're like, I already knew that was coming. I do it all the time. I have deja vu all the time. And, that's part of what we're, part of the premonition experience. But while having a premonition, we don't always know that's what it is. But that's usually how I can tell when it comes to having a premonition versus a dream, is that it's more based on reality. There's nothing odd about it in the sense that, like the sky's not purple and, that you can barely see some of the imagery. You're capable of seeing everything. It's very realistic. It's like being awake. It's like being awake, and, it's almost like living it. So there's a huge difference between them. Ray says, I'll fly over to America to visit you, so you'll know if that happens. Absolutely. Barbara's on here too. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Journey. What can you tell us about not dreaming at all anymore? I haven't dreamt since Greg's passed. Well, the thing is that you have dreamt. The thing about dreaming and having something along the lines of something traumatic happening to you, what's happening is you are dreaming, but you're not remembering it because the trauma hits you before you before you wake. So all of a sudden you wake up and you're re-feeling all those emotions and everything that you're feeling is actually blocking you from remembering. And then there are also times where there are people who go to sleep and they don't remember any of their dreams. And the reason for it is that they don't have to. And in all honesty, we're not always supposed to remember our dreams. This is a way for us to deal with things subconsciously. Now, some things start weighing on us more heavily. And if those things start to weigh on us more heavily, then we start to remember these dreams because they were so on point with what was going on that you remember certain parts of the dream. And that's why I like to tell everybody that dreams are based off of, symbolism. They're not exact. Dreams are never exact. Premonitions, on the other hand, become more exact until, you try to force something to happen in a premonition. Then you'll throw your premonition off. But you'll know the first part of your premonition when you start living it in your waking life. Because then we start stepping into lucid dreaming because you're trying to force things to happen, trying to make things happen. When you're lucid dreaming, you do that. You can change things in your dream, make things happen, see a red ball, see balloons, do things like that. Hey, Jessica. So there's a lot about dreams that we need to come to understand and live. But dreaming is definitely all about symbolism and processing things that are going on in our waking life. Love you too, honey. So yeah, there's definitely a lot that can happen within a dream. There's when it comes to not dreaming at all, great depression, huge emotion can stop you from dreaming. If you are a dreamer and you remember it a lot and then something traumatic happens to you and you're like, oh, I can't remember any of my dreams anymore. It's your energy that's stopping it. It's that emotional energy that keeps you from remembering. So just know that it's not a bad thing, in that once we get all right, so when we start getting to a more calmer state in our emotional status, you're going to dream like nobody's business. But what this is a lot of built up things that you are not seeing in your dream. That's what it's it'll come. It'll be like, holy cow, I dreamt all night long. I don't feel like I slept. Yes, you actually can live dreams that way to a point where it worked up so much energy that you didn't feel like you got any sleep. You didn't get any because your legs were moving, your eyes were twitching, your mind was going a million miles a minute. Thank you, Jessica. Barbara said, that sounds right. I still have hard mornings and nights. And I really feel like, Barbara, when you're going into mornings are hard, but nights are they're the roughest part of your day. It's the stress of what you've had to go throughout the day. It's the not having that partner laying beside you at night. There's a lot of things that are playing in there that cause you, not to be able to sleep very well, and you keep going in that direction. So just know that emotions can block you from remembering your dreams. And she said, yep. All right. Jessica says, I'm looking handsome as ever. Thanks, Jessica. All right. Michelle, she said, when we dream, our souls really leave our bodies and travel somewhere else. No, that's astral projection. Astral projection is different than dreaming. So astral projecting is we are leaving the body and going elsewhere. Now, we usually never leave our bodies and go too far away. But when it comes to dreaming, we're still within ourselves. It's only the mind taking that and making that happen. But when it comes to astral projection, yes, we are leaving the body, but not with dreaming. We're not traveling anywhere but within our own mind. Ray says, can you stop nightmares from happening? You can take control. It's hard to do because when you're in a nightmare, the adrenaline starts pumping through your system. You start breathing faster, which is adding to the anxiety, which is happening in the mind as well, which is intensifying a nightmare. We need to remember that we're in control of our dream. We control what happens in here, and you can stop the nightmare from happening. But here's the thing about nightmares. They're warning us about something. We're running away from something. Are we running away from ourselves? Are we running away from a certain person? Are we running away from a certain subject? What are we fearing in our waking lives that is scaring us and our dream state? So it can also be television too. If let's say you're sitting back, you're laying there, you're talking to your friend on the phone, and then you start snoring in their ear like 2 seconds later because you were watching a movie, and then all of a sudden you're having a nightmare because you're watching Freddy Krueger, and in your dream now you're running away from somebody and they're chasing you. So yeah, even what you're watching can go into that because you're processing it. That was the last thing you were processing is a nightmare. So, and that was just a little, that first part about talking on the phone and snoring was a little poke at somebody who I know is watching right now. They just, decided to go to sleep as I started talking to them, as I magically had the calming voice to let you go to sleep. And I'm sure they had very funny dreams that night because we were having a pretty funny conversation. But when Barbara was talking, she said, yep. And she said, thank you. And you are welcome, Barbara. And Jessica said, you're very welcome. Again, thank you, Jessica. And Ray said, haha, but watch Ghost Hunters before bed is so much fun. And I cannot agree more. I cannot agree more with that. I am definitely into, of course, you guys know me. I'm psychic. I ghost hunt. I collect different things. I've gone to different places, recorded different things. Definitely got tons of video footage of different things, pictures, even within my own place. Now, I do know that you guys have watched this show enough to know who Blanca is, and she won't mind me telling you guys that I snapped a photo of her mother as her mother was talking to me through the spirit box and was giving me certain messages as Blanca was going through something at the time, and she was trying to clear her mind, and she wasn't listening to the spirits above while they were giving her signs. So her mother came to me and started talking through the spirit box, and I was like, I have no clue what any of this is. I'm not knowing, because rather than talking to me, the psychic, she decided to go to the box that was yelling at me. So she started using it. And so I started writing everything down. Well, 2 and 2 together, come to find out, Blanca was hearing a noise. Didn't know what that noise was. What was that noise? I said, well, let me play something for you. And I turned it on. As soon as the spirit box turned on, that was the noise that she heard. She heard the little beep beep noise to let me know that something changed in the room that I was in. So I know that there's something's changing in the room. The energy is being picked up. So I ended up finding out about that, and my class that I teach tarot to was extremely excited about it and are now asking for me to turn the spirit box on every time we go to class, which is fine. I'm going to do it next time. Ray said, so cool. Yes, absolutely. It was amazing. It's fun. And, that's why I tell people, pay attention to the signs that are around you, because you may not get them in your waking life, but this is another thing that will lead into your dreams as well, is that you're all of a sudden going to dream about something that you may have seen you didn't pay enough attention to, but subconsciously you picked up on it, but you're not able to process it until you get into your dream state, because the mind is quieter. You're not trying to see, you're not trying to walk, you're not trying to do anything but rest. And while the rest of the body is taking its time to slow down, go through its day and processing its day, the mind is processing its day. So part of the mind kind of shut down to do, its little reboot, so you can wake up rested and ready to go. The back of your mind, your subconscious mind, is going, you saw this, this is what this means. And it's all imagery that you recognize in your dream state, except for when you remember those dreams and you come out going, what the hell was that shit? And you're like, I have no clue what the hell that meant. No clue. That's why we talk to people who can understand and study dreams. And I've been to quite a few of the courses and learned a lot about the symbolism. And like I said, colors, depending on were you standing? Were you sitting? Was the sky blue? How many clouds were in the sky? Was there water? Was it raining? What was it? Was it windy? Were there leaves on the trees? What color was everything around you? There's a lot that goes on when it comes to a dream. Jessica says, that's awesome. I feel spirits all the time and feel things. Everyone says I'm crazy, but it's in our blood. You're right, Jessica. You know that, girl. Hi, Summer. Summer, we're not doing readings right now. This is our dream interpretation show on Tuesday nights, so we talk about dreams. And if you have any questions about dreams, I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. And Barbara has some stuff here. She says, okay, here's one. When I was about 15, I flipped out on my bed screaming and was in so much pain, having both legs cramp up. My mom got up and came and sat with me and tried to get my pain to stop and get me back to sleep. Later in the morning, my phone... Hang on, let me see if I can see the rest of it on here, because it cut it off on there. My phone rang. My BFF had been attacked, and she passed out at the scene, or was in an accident, and had passed out at the scene. I think I was there with her. Well, I'm going to tell you. Oh, no, Summer, you're fine, honey. We got 2 reading shows tomorrow. We've got one with Emma Rose and one with Gifts of Faith. So don't worry. So just know that we got 2 reading shows tomorrow. This is Dream Interpretations. Okay, guys? When it comes down to what you went through, Barbara, that was not far from what was actually happening here. So remember how I told you about astral projecting, and you said being there with her. You astral projected out of your body. You were by her side, and then when you slammed back into your body, because that's what happened, because something woke you and your spirit came flying right back into you. When you fly back into your body, when you astral project and slam into it, it hurts. It does not feel good. You can get dizzy, pain, nosebleed, mouth bleed. I've even seen it where people have had a tear of blood roll down their face from their eye. That's how intensifying it is. So, Barbara, I believe you were astral projecting, and when that happened, you slammed back in your body. So, Barbara, that's really what I see happening on that one. Ray says, I wish I could live in my dreams full time. Only if they're good ones, Ray. Only if they're good ones. All right. Summer's got something to add here. Summer says, I dream all the time that my grandma's and my grandpa's house, they both passed away. I'm dreaming about them and their house all the time. I also dream I'm a kid a lot. So when it comes to that type of dreaming there, Summer, and what you're doing is that you're looking for a safe place. And that place brought you safety. It brought you love and care. And so that to me is a safe place. So that's what, dreaming about the home that was fun to you, the grandparents, there's love there. And this shows me when having these dreams, you are wanting to go backwards in time. There's a lot of pressure on you. There's a lot of energy circling you. There's a lot of stress around you. So on your dream state, you need to be able to find a way to loosen the anxiety and the stress levels that you are taking on. And dreaming of your grandparents' house and dreaming about your grandparents in general and seeing yourself as a kid is not wanting to be in the present moment because there's too much going on. And that is a safe place and a way for you to get away from it all because it was easier for you then. Plus, you felt cared for and safe. But here's another one when it comes to that type of dreaming, and the way I'm seeing that one is that you're missing appreciation. So at that point in your life, when having that dream, you're not getting the appreciation or the recognition that you need and deserve at that moment in your life. But those people, that house, there was appreciation, there was love, the attention, it was all there. So that's how you were able to reset yourself for the next day because you gave that to yourself. All right. Barbara, she says, wow, I always felt I was there with her. Yes. When it came to your dream, Barbara, it was very much you were there. You were still within yourself. You were still connected to oneself. But when you slammed back in your body because something in the room must have woke you, a loud noise may have happened at that point, you slammed right back into your body, and that's why you hurt so badly. There was nothing that was going to take that pain away. It would have slowly kind of like dulled out after a while. But yeah. Christy K, what does she got here? Christy says, hi, I have a lot of prophetic dreams. Dreams, and when it happens, I don't know if that's the right term. Sometimes we don't know the right terms, but we know what we're going through. But I just call it that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we go through. Now, Christy, don't worry about calling it the right thing. We all have our own way interpreting what we've been through. And, you know, there's sometimes I screw up terminologies too, even though I know the right one. And then I'll think to myself, like, damn it, that's not what that was called. And I'm like, shit, told somebody the wrong thing. But don't worry about that part of it. But, you know, when you go through your dream cycle and you are having a prophecy, or you're having, you know, a dream that doesn't make sense but then comes real later, you know, there are many names for many things. So whatever you call them, it's okay. I don't hold that against anybody. Like I said, I sometimes screw up on the terminologies, and then later on I'm like, son of a bitch, I knew what it was called and I called it something else. Damn it. All right. And haha, true, Ray said earlier to her message. Hey, Charlie, how are you? Jessica says, I've been having the same dream lately. I can't remember much of it, but I do remember there's always my ex in it, and I wake up at the same time at 333, and I remember seeing the number 7 all the time the next day. It's like a sign, but I can't. This thing doesn't always put everything. Hang on. The screen moved up on me. And the next day, it's like a sign, but I can't for the life of me get it to make sense to me. Pay attention to the 777s. They're leading you somewhere. Where are the 7s coming from? How are you getting the 7s? Start putting that together. If you're having it a lot lately, that means that you're getting a message from the other side. This is not a dream. This is someone crossing over trying to give you messages the only way they know how. So follow the 7s. Connect the dots. Where are the 7s leading you? Where are you getting the 7s? Think, okay, I went to the grocery store. That grocery store is what? Is it Walmart? Is it Kroger? Is it, where is it? And usually on cars, license plates, what state is that license plate from? Is it a man or a woman driving? Is it a red car? Is it a blue car? Is it a truck? What is it? We got to find the connection. This is someone from the other side trying to connect with you. All right. All right, let's keep going, guys, because I'm trying to get to all of them. Christy says, I had 3 today that never happened before. I'm kind of scared of what it means. Elaborate a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't have to, if it scares you too much, I understand, and we can process it slowly. And Summer says, yes, when I wake up, I pure cry. Yeah. I understand that. People do that quite a bit, actually. Christy was talking. She says, usually only once, about a month, or every couple weeks, or a couple weeks apart. So I feel, Christy, that a lot of things are trying to come at you at a fast pace. And you're getting messages. So these aren't necessarily dreams. Premonitions are trying to come through. Messages from the other side. And you're not paying attention to the signs surrounding you. And she said, yes, I miss my grandparents so much. That does have a lot to do with missing them, but the thing is you felt safe with them, protected, and it's something you need. You need that reassurance that you're loved and cared for and that someone's looking and paying attention to you. You're getting that. You're not getting it from the people around you. That's probably because you're the one that's caring for everybody else and no one's giving you back that energy. So that's the only way you're getting it back. And Barbara said, thank you, Journey. I got to head to bed now. See you soon. Have a great night. All right, Barbara, see you tomorrow. We're going to be here with Emma Rose and Gifts of Faith tomorrow night, so it's going to be fun shows. Ray said, so cool, Christy. Anne's here. It says, hi, Journey. How are you? I had many dreams, but right now I recall one where I walked away from a military recruiter and a war field, then became a supermodel instead. And that energy that I just got from that, and the way I read what you were saying in that, is that you felt more along the lines of knowing that we're coming on a harder time, and you felt that pressure of harder times coming. So this was a warning to yourself. Don't have to fight the battle. Be the supermodel. Walk through it. Don't even worry. Don't sweat the small stuff. There was a lot going on, a lot of pressure surrounding you, and I really believe that you were being told to relax. Do you. Be your own star right now. That's who you need to focus on. That's why the attention was on you. That's why you were so, supermodel-like, because you were needing to pay attention to you, not the outside world, not paying attention to other people right now, because it would have done you no good. So subconsciously, you were telling yourself not to listen to the nonsense. Don't listen to the rhetoric. Don't deal with the bullshit. I mean, let's call it what it is. You were not needing to do that. You needed to focus on yourself and to make sure you could get through this. And by doing so, it made you the supermodel. All eyes on you. All attention on you. Don't let anybody else in. It's all about you. And said as well, is it okay to ask your loved ones to come into your dreams? Yes. You can ask them to come into your dreams. Not always something that they can do at that time. So it may take a couple tries. So don't get disappointed if they don't show up. That doesn't mean they don't want to. There could be certain things at stake at that point. Maybe their passing was too soon and you're asking them to come to your dreams. You're not emotionally capable of handling them being in your dreams at that time. So be careful with that. Don't get upset if they don't. It's not something you're doing. It's just certain points can make things different. She says, and the ex has passed away. What did he mean to you when it came to the ex? And she says, and most of the plays are from Florida and Texas. Okay. Well, we need to know at that time when that happened. So that's something to try to remember when you go through that, because that's two different places. But at that time, they're pointing you in a certain direction. Ray says, Journey, I actually have a really weird dream experience from when I was a kid that would be so interesting to hear your insight on. Well, we do only have 5 minutes left of this show, but Ray, that means you can save it for the next show. And Jessica says, I'm back in Ohio at the moment, so I don't know what the WTF it means, but I'll keep you posted on where I'm seeing the sevens. Well, if you're in Ohio and seeing Florida and Texas plates on a consistent basis, it sounds like you've got two opportunities. One to be in Florida and the other one that's leading you to Texas. But we need to find out what the ex meant to you. How did you see him? Was he funny? Was he an asshole? Was he a good person? Like, what did you see in him? What was the number one thing that stood out? Don't think about it. Just say it. And that's the first thing. That's what you're thinking subconsciously, even if it's bad. Anne says that dream was so many years ago. And says, thank you so much, Journey. Life can be confusing. And yes, especially in dreams. Jessica says, he asked me to marry him 2 weeks before he passed. All right. Ray said, next show for sure. Woohoo! All right. Awesome. She says, I've been seeing numbers all my life too, though recently, few years, I've noticed them so much more. Okay. We need to start knowing what those numbers are. There's meanings behind each one. She goes, he was funny and loving. So he's a caring person, but not taking things so seriously. So because this is someone who is loving and funny, and he's trying not to you must have a lot of pressure on you at the moment. And being in Ohio, I can guarantee that you've got pressure, as I know that situation for you. It's not a good one for you. It's not where you're supposed to be. And I think that's what he's trying to relay to you, is that this is not where you're supposed to be. Ray said, thanks for answering all of our dream questions. You are the best. I sure do love dream interpretation nights. Absolutely. And Jessica says, I do hate it here. Yeah, that's definitely not where you're supposed to be, girl. I don't feel like that's your calling. It was a good place for a while, but you've rode that horse. You've rode that horse. You're getting two options, Florida or Texas. I think you're going to start seeing more things about Texas. Just saying. Anne says, 747 is I have a path to follow, and 1010 I have to follow through with it. So that's definitely, a path to follow, but what path is it leading you to? So it's definitely, we'll have to start writing this stuff down so we can get bigger and better answers, because believe it or not, our self is telling us something, and sometimes we're getting message from spirit that way too. It's some of the easiest ways to get some of your messages when you're not paying attention during your waking life. She said something like that. Yeah, I know. We can't always remember everything. Can we all take a moment to appreciate how damn cute Journey's puppy is in the back? Yes, she's sleeping. Thank God for small miracles on that one. All right. She says, I agree about Texas, though. I feel like something's there for you. So, but the reason you think Florida, too, is because, yeah, like you said, Florida baby all the way. Anna says, I've been trying to figure it out. Well, the next time you have that dream and you start seeing those numbers and things, let me know. We'll look them up. We'll get you all set up. Too much to read up to. Yep, but I can shorten it for you to give you a better insight on it. All right, guys, we are at the end of our show. I want to say thank you to everyone that was here tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow at 10, we're here with Emma Rose, and then again at 12:30, we are here with Gifts of Faith, guys. Can't wait to talk to you all. Until then, this is Journey Ryan saying good night. Have a great evening and sleep tight, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.